What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the JT Sports Podcast. I'm your host, JT. Man, what the hell is going on? The most randomest trade just took place, people. The Raiders have acquired Geno Smith from the Seattle Seahawks in exchange for a third-round pick. I'm giving my reaction to this news with no notes. I'm just going straight off the dome. I am completely shocked. I mean, first, let's talk about what this trade means for the Las Vegas Raiders. So the Raiders get Geno Smith for pretty much a bag of Doritos, and you reunite him with Pete Carroll. Immediately, Geno Smith makes the Raiders contenders in the AFC West. This franchise is no longer the doormat of the AFC West. If you are the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Chargers, you can no longer afford to overlook the Las Vegas Raiders anymore. Now they got a proven starter at quarterback, and they have the second most available cap space to spend in free agency. This is going to be a completely different team at the start of the 2025 NFL season than what we saw last year. And Tom Brady, and only a few months as the Raiders' minority owner, has completely changed the culture of this franchise. When you look at the Raiders' mantra outside of their facilities that says committed to excellence, they actually mean it with Tom Brady now in control. And at the start of this offseason, Tom Brady was telling every coaching candidate that the Raiders were interviewing that they were committed to winning. You know, they no longer weren't going to an organization that was led by dysfunctional leadership in the front office. This was a place that if you took this job and you want to play in Las Vegas, you're playing for the goal of to have meaningful playoff games come January. That's what the new standard is now in this Raiders franchise. Tom Brady turned around the Patriots, made them a dynasty, and he damn well could be doing the same thing with the Las Vegas Raiders. It's way too early to say that, but he's done a spectacular job of just changing the energy in this building. You know, as a Raiders fan, for the first time in like decades, you finally can have a true reason to be optimistic, and no longer is it just you having your casual, oh, I'm a fan, I got no choice but to be optimistic. No, you can go into this offseason with legitimate hype that this team is going to be able to win this division and be a playoff contender next year. Okay, this isn't what you went through last offseason when you just had blindless optimism. No, you actually have a real reason to believe in the direction that this franchise is heading, and you have every reason to believe that you can compete with any team in this division. I mean, can you imagine how good the Raiders defense could be next year now that you have a capable offense that isn't going to be putting the defense at a disadvantage? I cannot wait to see Christian Wilkins come back fully healthy alongside of Max Crosby. Now, let's talk about what this trade means for the Seattle Seahawks. So the Seattle Seahawks trade away Geno Smith, and right now, I have no answers and a lot of questions about what direction the Seattle Seahawks are heading. Are you rebuilding? Is your goal to trade up for Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, or possibly draft Jackson Dart in the first round of the upcoming NFL draft? Are you planning on going after Sam Darnold in free agency? Like, what is your contingency plan now? Is Sam Howell going to be the guy? Mike McDonald, at the end of the season, when he was asked about Geno's future, he made it seem like they had no plans of getting rid of Geno. As a matter of fact, if my memory serves me correctly, Mike McDonald actually wanted to get Geno Smith extended. So I'm shocked that after he makes those statements, Geno Smith ends up getting dealt. And there was a little bit of some talk a few days ago that the Raiders were in the market for acquiring a quarterback, and they had no problem trading for a proven starter. And then that's when the rumors came out that Geno was possibly on the trading block, and he possibly could get traded to Las Vegas. And I was saying to myself, Why would they trade Geno Smith when they don't have any contingency plan to replace him? As much as Geno Smith had his issues with costly turnovers late in games, for the most part, he was a solid starter. You definitely could have done a lot worse than Geno Smith. I don't feel like Geno Smith was the entire reason why you missed out on the playoffs last year. And now you're in a situation where you have no quarterback, and it doesn't look like you have a clear plan of being able to address it neither. This is one of the worst off seasons to get rid of a proven quarterback. If you are the Seattle Seahawks, the quarterback market in free agency is not that good. Are you going to kick the tires on old man Aaron Rodgers? Are you really going to gamble on drafting a quarterback high in one of the weakest quarterback classes that we've seen in recent memory? I have a lot of questions about the Seattle Seahawks right now. I was really confident in the direction that this franchise was heading. But now, despite you having a 10-win season, year one under Mike McDonald, maybe you end up reverting back to being what you were pre-Pete Carroll. I'm just lost for words right now about what the Seattle Seahawks are doing. This is just shocking because they do have one of the better general managers in the NFL that does an incredible job of drafting. They do a really good job of developing their young talent. I just don't know what to make of the Seahawks right now. We got a few days until free agency approaches. It currently is March 7th at the time I'm recording this. Free agency starts March 10th, 4 p.m. Eastern time. I expect to see the Seattle Seahawks in on Sam Darnold, possibly Aaron Rodgers, because there's no way you're going to run it back with Sam Howell being your starter next year unless you just feel like there's some hidden upside. Or maybe the Seahawks' goal is to tank for Arch Manning next year. Or they want to tank for any of the top quarterback prospects in the 2026 NFL draft, which I wouldn't be opposed to. But trading away a guy like Geno Smith, that was a solid starter in the offseason where there's not really a lot of good replacements, is really head-scratching. At least you would have liked to have your replacement already in-house if you were going to move on from Geno Smith. So I'm stuck with more questions that I have answers when it comes to the Seahawks and this decision to move on from Geno Smith. But you guys leave your thoughts and reactions to this shocking blockbuster trade in the comment section down below. I know some of you guys might not call it a blockbuster trade because Geno Smith isn't like a superstar quarterback or whatnot, but you definitely could do a lot worse than him. So like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Check us out wherever you get your podcast from, Apple, Spotify, Amazon. The links are down in the pinned comment and description down below. I'll see you guys shortly with another episode.